Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Jitendra. Thank you again for this opportunity to sort of talk about artificial intelligence, data scientists, etc. Now, let me just get some ground rules started, right? Number one is that in terms of the interaction, I would love it to be interactive. Feel free to, pause me or whatever. Now, the way you want to ask a question is very simple. You just place it on chat. Number one, place it on chat, type it, and just type chat, put it across, and then I will try to explain or resolve that query or doubt, whatever the case might be. In case you feel like I have not resolved it, just unmute your mic. Feel free to interrupt me. Please interrupt me. Feel free to unmute and just tell it. But do that as a second resort, right? First resort, try to put it on chat, because 9 on 10 times, 99 or 90% of the time, you can get that result, right? Now, second thing, let's do a quick mic check. Guys, if you can hear me, just type Y. Y on the chat. I need at least 2 Ys, guys. Come on. Okay, so that means the mic is working. Everybody can hear. If you cannot hear me, it is your problem, right? So just maybe switch it off, switch it back on, or do something like that, right? Now, if I get at least 2 people to say that they can't hear me, that means the problem is at my end, right? So that's how we want to resolve the problem. Perfect, right? So these are the 2 house rules. I think I've told you about mic check. I've told you about the asking me a question. And towards the end is you should have opportunity about 5-10 minutes to ask any question you want, right? I mean, bulk of it should be on data science, etc. But feel free to ask me any other question as you may deem fit, which is what typically happens as well, right? And towards the end, I'll just again sort of transition to Jitendra, because he'll be the go-to person sort of for any other post-session queries, etc. Right? All right, so let's get started. It's 11:20. So perfect. So apologies, this screen will be like this. It won't be the full screen because I don't have 2 monitors and I don't have a way to figure out how to sort of deal with both. Okay, so what we will cover is mostly on why should you study data science? Why should you study data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence? Now, I know some of you have already studied it. Great, no problem. It's a great opportunity to again listen to why you should be doing it, or rewind back in time. How many of you have never heard of data, have not studied data science, are a fresher in the data science aspect? You could have 10 years experience, 20 years, 30 years. I don't care about that, but you are new to the data science experience. If you are, type N. N means for new, right? You're new to data science, machine learning, and AI. Anybody with N's? Excellent. Thanks, Teja. You're in a good spot. You made a great decision to come on this webinar. Trust me, you're better than most. Okay, next. How many of you are familiar with data science? You've tried some bunch of courses on Udemy, whatever, YouTube. You've given all your shot, etc., but you couldn't finish it because, whatever. Learning online, learning on your own is the most difficult thing. You've tried, you have 1 or 2 certifications, but you're still not there. Type M. M means machine learning. So you're proficient, you're decent with data science, but you're not all the way there with machine learning and deep learning concepts. Type M. M for machine learning. Anybody with an N? Okay. Thanks, Rahul. Thanks, Pathak. Yeah, I'm getting some comments from the on this one, private space as well. Very good, very good. Okay, yeah, keep them coming, keep them rolling. Yeah. So nobody seems like an M. How many of you are familiar with data science, are familiar with machine learning, but and are reasonable at deep learning, but don't know deployment, haven't done anything hands-on, has definitely not been working in a company that has done machine learning or deep learning projects, and that is at scale. Scale means you've seen at least 1,000 or 10,000 users of machine learning or deep learning customers using your product. Yeah, it could be not your own startup, but it could be like maybe you're working for TCS or CTS or I don't know, Google, and something you've made is actually being used. Then type the A for artificial intelligence. There's somebody who said who's finished machine learning. Rahul. Yeah. Oh, Rahul's pursuing it. Okay, fine, fine. So it seems like all of the audience is new. That's great. I mean, this just so a sense that I want to know, the demographic. Yeah. How many women in the room? If you're a lady in the room, type L. I saw an Anjali. Okay, perfect. Others, guys, and you have to like expend energy and do it, because simply don't fool yourself saying that being reactive, like, okay, I'm on the phone, I'm doing something, I'm busy, etc. Being busy is not equal to doing activities, right? Okay. Only one lady in the room, no problem. Perfect. Okay. So today I want to cover why you should pick up data science. I will not be covering anything else. I won't be covering the mistakes people make. Maybe there's subsets. I won't be covering the concepts you're going to be learning in the course, nothing. Only why you should pick up data science and machine learning, because that's what I'm assuming you're here for, right? And why pick up machine learning from a fundamental perspective. And I'll also tell you why I picked up machine learning. That's very different from and how you should set your mindset. There's tons of courses out there. There's tons of material out there. So before we embark on that, and let me tell you why I am well positioned to say that as well. Okay, a little bit about my background. I'm going to go ahead and so before I talk about my background, right, let's look at a few trends. Let's look at a few key trends. So AI right now is an extremely important skill. So if you actually literally go right now and Google, so there's a small tool called Google Trends. You can search for Python, you can search for Java, etc. It's actually picking up big time, and this is a ubiquitous thing. Everybody knows it. You know that's happening anyways. So don't worry. So this might be commonplace knowledge, but it's actually very, very important. AI is going to continue to be up, going up. Lots of, this is the usual dog and pony show. Lots of people talking about salaries. Data science salaries are the best. These are the usual suspects, right? You might be seeing it in news. You might be hearing it in every place, right? Social media, news, etc. The packages are great, etc. Now I'm going to tell you a lot more. We're going to go a lot more deeper into that. I want to show you one cool video, which I really love. You can hear the video also, let me know. Yes.
I'm Sakib Sheikh. I lost my sight when I was 7. And shortly after that, I went to a school for the blind. And that's where I was introduced to talking computers. And that really opened up a whole new world of opportunities. I joined Microsoft 10 years ago as a software engineer. I love making things which improve people's lives. And one of the things I've always dreamt of since I was at university was this idea of something that could tell you at any moment what's going on around you.
I think it's a man jumping in the air doing a trick on a skateboard.
I teamed up with like-minded engineers to make an app which lets you know who and what is around you. It's based on top of the Microsoft Intelligence APIs, which makes it so much easier to make this kind of thing. The app runs on smartphones, but also on the Pivot Head smart glasses. When you're talking to a bigger group, sometimes you can talk and there's no response, and you think, is everyone listening really well, or are they half asleep? And you never know.
I see two faces, 40-year-old man with a beard looking surprised, 20-year-old woman looking happy.
The app can describe the general age and gender of the people around me and what their emotions are, which is incredible. One of the things that's most useful about the app is the ability to read out text.
Hello, good afternoon. Here's your menu.
Thank you. I can use the app on my phone to take a picture of the menu, and it's going to guide me on how to take that correct photo.
Move camera to the bottom right and away from the document.
And then it'll recognize the text. Read me the headings.
I see appetizers, salads, paninis, pizzas, pastas.
Years ago, this was science fiction. I never thought it would be something that you could actually do. but artificial intelligence is improving at an ever faster rate. And I'm really excited to see where we can take this. As engineers, we're always standing on the shoulders of giants, building on top of what went before. And in this case, we've taken years of research from Microsoft Research to pull this off.
I think it's a young girl throwing an orange frisbee in the park.
For me, it's about taking that far-off dream and building it one step at a time. I think this is just the beginning.
You can definitely do with AI. How many of you have watched that video before? Just type N for no, you have not watched. Yes, Y for you have watched it. It's actually a very, very powerful way of showing, encompassing all the concepts of machine learning and AI, etc. And that's something you can get to do in like 6 months or 1 year, whatever the case might be, depending on your sincerity and passion, right? So I really, really love that video because it has 3 tenets, right? Number 1 is it shows you, demonstrates the power of computer vision, natural language processing. It's extremely emotionally invigorating. And number 3, it's in Microsoft. It's one of the best places to work, continues to be one of the best places to work, etc. Right? So let me just introduce myself. My name is Jayanth Rasamsetti. I'm a co-founder and chief AI scientist at 2 companies. Pixeltests is both the companies are my own. That's rhetorical. So Pixeltests is my data science and training company, or you can call it upskilling company. Sigmoid is my product company, where we help healthcare. We help build machine learning models. So AI is where Pixeltests is where I actually upskill people. AI, Sigmoid is where I consume them, and build products, right? In terms of my experience, I've worked at American Express, at Fortune 50 companies, Fortune 500, whatever you call them, KPMG, etc. Siemens, a long time ago. I've been incredibly fortunate to work in my undergrad, that's BTech at IIT Madras, my MTech at IIT Madras, and my second master's at Columbia University. I finally realized I don't think I have to study anymore, because not only would my hair become more gray, I would probably lose all of it as well. So that's it. That's the end of my sort of formal qualifications in education. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you for that comment. Yeah. And I think, and again, I've been extremely fortunate to have, and all throughout, I've been training, right? I've had the good fortune of, being across, I don't know, countless webinars, countless on-site learners, probably more than 10,000 over, 40,000 impacted online. I've done, in over, 2-3 continents, 4 countries, 4 countries, ages, demographics being from 15 to 59. 59 was the oldest student. Yes, that can happen as well. Over in 15 cities. Companies or corporates have represented, corporates, Dell, BNP Paribas, Citrix. I think I've done Qualcomm as well. Lots of them. Then institutes, Great Learning, all these other fantastic institutes. I've also been training at Columbia University. And feedbacks, this is some of the classical feedback I get. 4.82 stars on 5, 4.64 on 5. These are thousands and thousands of students, ensemble techniques, etc., case studies. And I'll tell you, the reason why I'm telling you this is not to extol myself, not to, sort of really show myself in a very, very big league, but I just want you to give a fair trial to what I'm about to show you on the reasoning, because these are the common patterns I will show you after these slides of what I felt. So I've had like rooms where they were packed. So some of these articles I wrote have more than like 5,800 views. You can see that down there on the third one here. Some of these classrooms were filled, and some of these were like senior leadership. So and if you're a youngster, that's okay. Youngster meaning like if you're in third year or a fresher, that's fine. If you're severely experienced as well, that's fine. All of us are in the same boat. And like I said, I've had the good fortune or also misfortune of meeting so many people with the same sort of mindsets. And I think I'm incredibly well poised to see some common patterns. And that's my aim to tell you. Yeah, so some of my posts have had so many views. Incredibly consistent teacher, etc. So this is across cities. Won't spend too much time here. You can see the recording of this. Teaching testimonials. I love these. These guys continue to be my closest friends. Mohammed Amir Ashraf, he's working for, I guess, Novartis. Super faculty. Keep this guy in great learning. He gives the real stuff. So the idea for the next, whatever, 20, 30 minutes is a way to just show you what are the common pitfalls, why you should do what you want to do, right? Because if that is reinforced on a fundamental level, you'll not make mistakes that many people make. So are you ready for that? If you're ready for that, type BIO. That's bring it on. Let me share. Yeah, good. Let me bring that share on. Okay, why become a data scientist? So number one, why data science and AI, right? So I call it good full stack data scientist. It's the same, interchangeable reasons. Okay, let's look at this. So let's focus on this guy. No techniques are going to be taught, nothing, just why. It's very, very, very important to know why. Okay. So first story I want to tell you is the evolution of technology, right? Now, why is that important to us? It's extremely important to us. When I did Sigmoid, when I'm still doing Sigmoid, right? No offense to anybody, but you should fundamentally look at what you are. Your composition is one of an engineer, right? There are two kinds, right? Engineers and doctors. So let's look at a doctor. A doctor fundamentally does not build, he cures, right? Now, what is that? They are incentivized to bring the best recallability. What does meaning? If you want to go to the best doctor, let's say you're getting a heartache or a backache, you want to go to the best doctor, and the doctor treats you. And the education system the doctor has taken is 10 years for maybe MBBS, postdoc, and all that. Then there's FRCS, etc. So 10 to 15 years he spent on doing the same task again and again. And that's how he cures blindness in ophthalmology or radiology, so on and so forth, right? The amount of innovation a doctor does is fairly lesser compared to an engineer, right? Unless if you have like a novel coronavirus or something where everybody's panicked. But how many times such things happen? Never, right? If you go to a dentist, he's doing the same filling again and again. How many of you agree with me? Type yes. Type Y. Y for agreeing. Because this insight is very profound. Right? Good. Thanks, Rahul, again. Now, an engineer is not like that. An engineer should constantly innovate. Now, you might not be that engineer who innovates. There can be three kinds. Three kinds meaning one is a person who's doing PhD, who's going to invent something. Second is a medium early adopter. And third is a laggard, right? Now, let's go back and rewind into a story. So or look at some patterns, sorry. 1940s, if you knew English, you were above the lot. You could be an IAS officer, you could be an IPS officer, whatever the case might be, and really conquer, be powerful, right? Simply because you knew English, etc. Many of the others, like my grandfather, etc., became agrarian. They were happy, they had so many acres of land and all that, but they never innovated. So innovation was just learning English. 1985. If you knew Java back then, you're actually very, very, very solid, right? Vinod Khosla, etc. All these guys made billions and billions of dollars. Today, if you know Java, no offense, you're not going to make that much. 2009. If you knew iPhone, iOS, Xcode programming, you can make a lot of money in mobile app development, right? Today, it's not that much. Apps are there everywhere. So you have to observe trends. Always and always and always, somebody somewhere, drinking something or is going to invent something new in technology. So what is the lesson for us? Technology is going to evolve. I must be abreast. I must catch up with that always. So that is the thesis I have. Today meaning 2022, 2025, AI is going to be hot. It's a new trend. It's great. It's best to go where the cricket ball is going, right? So like how they say in ice hockey, go where the puck is going, not where the puck was. You should always go where it is going. Technology is going, right? So what does that mean? That means you must always table a budget for upskilling. Whatever it is, every 3 years, you're an engineer, spend 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs on yourself or 10 lakhs, wherever it is, taking the best course under the best mentor, upskilling. I do that. I'm learning actually crypto. I'm learning DeFi programming. I'm new to it, but I'm learning it from somebody in Silicon Valley, paying the best money. See, because we are our own best person, right? As in, we are the highest leverage. So you must invest in ourselves, upskill constantly. If somebody tells you that, oh, let me learn AI now and I'm done with it, no. Tomorrow, somebody else is going to invent something. In 5 years, this will become redundant, right? So learn that first. Technology is always going to evolve. You must stay abreast with it. Otherwise, you'll become outdated. And then it's very, very crowded at the bottom. It's very, very less competition at the top. In fact, there is no competition and it's actually lonely. Now, has everybody understood that if that was a very key insight, type boom, BOOM. You have to think logically like that, right? Think systematically and logically like that. Right? Guys, I need some energy in the room. Okay, we could probably go through the next example and then we can say that. Okay. Now, given that this technology constantly shifts and you have to invest in yourself, what your next logical question should be, what are the technologies that are out there? They could be AI, data science, they could be blockchain, cryptocurrency, quantum, cybersecurity. There's a bunch of more, but these are the typical usual suspects right now. What will it be 10 years from now? Even I don't know. What will be 5 years from now? Also, I don't know. But look at that and have a 10-year view on everything, right? Have a 10-year view. Now, what is that? Most of us have a very short-sighted view. How short-sighted is short-sighted? Oh, let me do this course and let me get a job in 6 months and I'll be happy. No, don't ever do that. Have a 10-year view. See, we have 10-year views on everything. We have 10-year views on marriage. We have 10-year views on or 10, 20, 30 or lifetime views, right? We have those views. So medicine is designed like that, right? You know you're going to be a doctor only after 10 years, 12 years of experience. Why can't engineering be like that? Pick one sector, focus, power of one, pick one of these sectors. And I know I'm mildly contradicting myself, but pick one. It could be AI, it could be whatever crypto. Pick one, but stick to it for the next 10 years. Right? Stick to that absolutely for the next 10 years. Upskill, be the best in that. Right? Don't have a myopic, short-sighted view. You will only get short-term results. Okay. Now, second point that I've noticed is that what is the definition of an expert? Right? An expert is somebody whom I believe is better than the 4 by 5, like the 80% of people you meet. 80% of people you meet. Now you might ask me, what does that mean? For instance, let me ask you a question. Is it easy to become an expert in Java, or is it easy to become an expert in cryptocurrency? I know you don't know too much about crypto, but crypto is a new concept that's coming up. So is it, for a guy like me, is it easy to become an expert in Java or easy to become an expert in crypto? If you type Java, if you think it's Java, type CRY. CRY means crypto. If you think it's crypto, which one? Did you guys understand the question? Come on, Rahul, Padak, Deepak. Just guess an answer. Anjali, Teja, Sai, Yashwant. Guys, unless you force yourself, commit. I'm not asking you to, reveal your secret something. No, that's fine. Yeah, Java, but not that much. No. So the answer is, it's easier for me to become an expert in crypto compared to Java. Why? It's almost always easier to become an expert in a new topic than an old topic. It's paradoxical, but that's the correct thing. So it's easier for you to become an expert in AI compared to Java, because Java is an old topic. A lot of people are going to be studying that, and a lot of experts will come in. AI, crypto, quantum is it's not that crowded. So the chances of you becoming an expert is relatively faster. Did that make sense? Yes, the path to that you need to search a little bit, etc. But does that make sense? Exactly. Contrary to popular perception, it is easier for you to become an expert in something new. Remember that for life. I'm dead serious, right? Now you've got to balance. Don't take something so futuristic also. Like, don't do something like time travel or astronomy. I don't know. Look at fields that are coming up, and you'll know that, like electric vehicles. That's a huge new field, right? That's coming up, and definitely that's very, very big. Climate change, very, very big, like carbon credits, etc. Because the climate is dying and all that, right? So these are sectors that are just coming up, but don't take something that's way too far ahead. Like I said, right? Like the astronomy piece or time travel and all. That's just way too research oriented. Go where the ball is about to go, right? You can't predict 2 steps ahead. 1 step you can reasonably well, and get the best mentor and enroll in that. Now, second, 4 states of mind exist, and we come to that. So let's go to this point. Spoils go to the experts. Now, money, name, fame, confidence flows to experts. Trust me on that. Whenever you feel like an expert, and feeling of an expert, like I told you, is fairly easy. You can get that by correct attitude, correct planning. Spoils go to experts and who take the most risk. So it's actually risky to go into crypto, but that's the good thing, that not many people will get into that, right? It's risky to get into AI, but not many people will do it, but you have to get into that. And there's demonstrable numbers I have. So the range of sorry, that's my puppy, if you can hear the barking. The range of hikes are between 30% to 634%. Now you might ask me, like, what does that mean? So from around 30% to around 700%, people have gotten hikes. That's something you will know. A lot of people, when we talk about the big hikes and all, who got these 700% hikes? See, typically, people who are in the younger years will get the massive hikes. Right? Younger years means freshers such as yourself. People who have less than 3 years of experience will get the massive hikes. People who are already 10, 20 years of experience will get lesser hikes, but they will get a hike. Hike means an increment in salary or promotion or a bonus and all that, right? So your expectation value also should be set. So if somebody is making, I know people who will be making 4-5 lakhs, right? Very less salaries, etc. Ish comparatively, who've gone on to make like 20 lakhs as well, right? That exists, but your concept should be clear. Now that is the lucrative part, right? The average hike is about 65%. Typically, I've seen that people get about 30 to 60%. Standard deviation is 20%. I'm telling you that because you have to be mathematical, you have to have a framework, right? Now, number one, the 4 states of people I've always seen are, there is no deviation from this rule. Number one, happily employed. Means you're happy and you're employed. You don't want an increment, you don't want anything. You love your boss, you love your job, and you're happy. Second, happily unemployed. Means I don't know, maybe you're some big shot son or daughter or whatever the case might be. You're happy, you're unemployed, or you've been just coming from a bad job or a bad boss and you want a break, and you have enough liquidity, you have savings, so you're fair. Unhappily employed. What does that mean? You're unhappy with your current job, but you're getting great money, and you can't, for various reasons, get out of it because, no work satisfaction, you have EMIs, you have lots of circumstances like that's there. Now, last one is unhappily unemployed. Again, a lot of people are there who are unhappy and who are unemployed. We have seen this. So these are the 4 states. Let's go to the fundamentals. Okay, 4 states. Bulk of the people are in states B, C, D. I think you'll agree with me. I don't have to show you. They're mostly between B, C, D. Happily unemployed. Unhappily employed is peaks. I've seen that in the peaks. And unhappily unemployed is also there. But we won't go too much into that because that's like obviously a big political sort of, it's a segue into a political discussion. We'll focus on the states A, B, C. I've seen most people in C. Now the problem is you might even say you are in A. A does not exist. A simply cannot exist unless you're a business owner. I'll tell you why. Because of the first reason I told. Technology is always evolving, right? Even doctors now, as you know, their jobs are in threat. There is simply no this state of not satisfaction. The word I'm trying to look for is complacency, right? You can never be complacent in technology. Something somewhere will happen, like a macroscopic event, and it can be like furlough. Your company can, some new CEO might come and you can get displaced. Job losses are happening. You've seen that Corona can happen. We've all witnessed what's happening. A cannot exist. Many people think they're in A. That is also wrong. Most people are in C and B. What my request to you is, give a fair trial to this approach. Do you want to be in ABC? Now, number one is, do you really want to be in ABC? Your answer should be no, never, right? You should never be in ABC. And you should give a commitment to yourself saying that, not to me, to saying that you should never be in ABC. This is a problem even I have faced. I used to earn a lot of money in New York City and finance is great, etc. But I had a shitty boss and I really didn't like it, right? That's the curse. But at that time, I thought it was a problem with me, right? But here's law of statistics, right? 4 states are there. Definitely you'll find people in each of them. This is the normalcy. The normalcy is that ABC is a very hard thing to do, right? To get A is very tough. I have rarely found genuine people saying that, right? Very rarely. Maybe business owners. I've seen some jobs also. Some people in healthcare, some people in pharma, etc. But they've come to that stage after a lot of maturity. Okay, most people are masquerading, meaning most people are lying, saying that they're in A, but actually they might be in C. A and C are a little bit of actually opposites, and hence don't forget about the competition, forget about everybody else. You just think about yourself. The only two truths are, the only constant is change. Technology is always evolving because inventions are always happening. Engineers will always make something. You have to upskill every 2-3 years. Table some budget, right? Money is, don't be emotional about money. You have to upskill, right? Now that we've understood the truth, right? Okay, technology is going to evolve. I have to I have to constantly upskill. Constantly upskill means don't do AI, don't do crypto, don't do quantum, don't do cybersecurity. Pick one, set your vision and keep going in that, right? And we've seen the benefits of being an expert, or a perception of being an expert. They get paid the best. They have the best jobs. They have the best problems to solve, etc. Third point, very important, peer group. What does peer group mean? Let's actually zoom that a little. So I'll tell you from my own experience. When I got a job after my graduation, right, I actually had a decentish job. I didn't have the best job. I'll be honest. I had a job that paid well, but it was not in the best department. You will know this. Some of you have been working or we've tasted this, or maybe even in college. The best teams, like the new teams, like the AI teams, or like the crypto teams, or the quantum teams, are almost always the teams with the best bosses, best peer group. Because the organization is also spending a lot of money to get the best talent. The worst to mediocre teams are in all the rest of the departments, right? So I was doing SaaS programming, etc. Honestly, the team was not that great. The best teams were in the AI, the fraud detection and all. So I had to like work my way up. So you get the best bosses, you get the best discourse. Even within the same organization, you'll see a huge difference, right? So don't just have an aim like, oh, I want to get a great job with paying me some X amount of money, like 5 lakh, 10 lakh, or 30 lakh, or 50 lakhs per annum. Your aim should be a little more refined. Can I get to the best team within that organization with the best boss, right? Almost always and always, the new, like I said, the new technology teams only are the best, right? Again, better colleagues. So your work wife is always going to be your colleague, right? What does that mean? It's very important to have, and because you're going to spend more than 9-10 hours with your colleagues, with your peer group, etc. It's immense satisfaction to have, really solid team members. Trust me on that, right? You're the sum of the 5 people around you. One will become your spouse, etc. Now, the rest of the 4 should be really awesome, right? Go to good teams. Does that make sense? If you understood this point, type 3, because we are on third point. Okay, very good, excellent. Yeah, the fourth point is why learn data science. So it's crowded at the bottom. See, when you're writing Java code or SQL code, etc., right? Very, very crowded. You'll be with the runt of the litter, and what will happen is that you are going to be the dissatisfaction. You're actually setting yourself for dissatisfaction. Extremely crowded. Look at the number of people who write like who want to get into the army or who want to write IAS and all. It's just so crowded. There's very less competition at the top. In fact, it's fairly lonely, right? So think of ways of actually rising to the top. First, by in a sector, pick a sector, ace in it, do the best, and then you'll automatically become in a very good cohort, right? As you're making, convolution models, or as you're making machine learning models, whatever, for blind people or for detecting fraud or for e-commerce, whatever it is, there's this particular strategy you have to have for yourself, right? Next, my most favorite, because I loved it, I personally felt that, is mathematics. So most of upskilling in data science or AI is at least revolves around mathematics and coding, right? I love it. Every day that I've done mathematics or programming done right is almost always more satisfying under a good mentor. It's like workout. It's better than a 5-kilometer run or an intense workout. Your dopamine is high, etc. That's what I like. If you like that too, you should really, really give this a very fair shot. Okay, next, frequent mistakes people make. Let's look at the frequent mistakes. Yeah, this is the frequent mistake. Data science is hot. Everybody's talking about it. I want to do it too. That is a big, big, big recipe for disaster. Do you want to be a disaster? I don't think so. You should not. Instead, what can you do? You should ask, what are the future trends based on the framework I've shown you? What is the intersection with my interest? Does crypto really? So, for instance, for me, cybersecurity doesn't interest me that much, but quantum computing does. That's why I went ahead and started upskilling in quantum computing and in crypto, right? And you should say, can I pick one up? Do it for yourself. Don't do it for others, right? Number two, I'm bored at my current job, getting a decent salary, and I really can't say no to the 50,000, 1 lakh that's coming per month, but I need something more interesting. Instead, you should think, what are the future trends? Same thing, what I told you about. What is the intersection with my interest? Because you must pick something you're interested. And how do you know what you're interested? By simply eliminating things you're not interested, right? Can you pick one up? Next, I read about a person half my age taking twice my salary. How is this even possible? So that's why I have to do AI and data science. Not a good reason, right? You should think systematically and logically. What are the highest paying jobs with a good role function that I like? And what skills do I need to get a foot in the door, right? And can I craft it, like I said, a 3 or a 5-year plan? Have a 10-year plan on anything, right? Number 4, I've seen spouse, kids, family are on top of me. They spend a lot. I need more money. I need more liquidity to get a better lifestyle. Again, instead, your conversation should be, what are the highest paying jobs, or what's the most lucrative, and what will continue to be more lucrative? What skills do I need to get a foot in the door, right? Can I craft a 3-5-year plan? The 5th mistake most people make is, I've seen this trend, but it's really annoying and irritating, the certification trap. Old kind of education is gone. Yeah, these universities and all that, we've all seen that. I'm telling you, I'm going on record and telling IITs and all these other things are also not helping people, right? And I can say that with some moral authority, having studied so much and grayed so much of my hair, including the Ivy Leagues. Like, they're all money-making scheme, right? They always fuel our low self-esteem, saying, oh, I need more certification. Certification doesn't mean skilling. Today, some of my best employees are from tier 3 towns in Orissa, etc. They just know this coding. They just know programming really well. No certification, nothing. I love that. Learn the skills, right? Like, for instance, watching a cooking video on YouTube and getting a certification on cooking on YouTube doesn't make you a good cook. You have to cook well, right? You have to chop the onions. There's a particular fast way. You've seen that, right? Watching MasterChef doesn't make you a master chef. You have to do the grind. It is smelly, it is bad, but you have to go through it, right? If you've understood that, type 5, the 5 frequent mistakes and suboptimal strategies. Guys, I need at least 2, yeah. 2 5s I need, 2 3 people saying that. Come on, Adam, Usha. I think even Jitendra can say that. Pathak, Rahul, Sayashwan, Saket, Teja. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Next. So don't get into the certification trap. And I'm not telling you to just do us, just anywhere. Just do one thing really well, right? You don't get a six-pack by getting as many gym certifications. You get six packs by doing push-ups, pull-ups every day, and that is so difficult. That is so difficult. By running, that is just extremely difficult. Let's be honest with ourselves. Next, why is it important to find a good mentor? Okay, that is very, very important. I've seen this also. Again, same formula. Good students go to bad mentors. Bad students come to bad mentors. Bad students come to good mentors. Good students, and the last one, bad students come to bad mentors, which is okay. So what is of interest to us is why you should learn, not me. Why you should get good mentors. I can get a bad student, honestly. I'm fine because I've done more than 10,000 plus, so it won't disturb my reputation, etc. that much. Why you should get a good mentor, and why is it important for me to get a good student as well, right? Number one is, so my incentives are aligned with getting you that high paying job or whatever that goal could be. And we look at goals as well below. Could be a great master's after this course, or it could be a great startup or consulting. Typically, most 90% I've seen people with job only. That's the kind of goal they want. Masters, and the other one is less. Because if you get a job in Google or a FANG company, Facebook, Apple, then I get a testimonial. We get a great feedback, right? And it'll honestly inspire thousands of other more people, right? So that's the only reason. So all of that is for that. That's one reason why the incentives are aligned for your success. Now, for you, why is a good mentor important? See, to learn is actually to think, right? Like I said, technology is evolving. Today we'll be there for you to train and all that, but tomorrow, that might not be there. In 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, that won't be there. But the principles will be there. The same principles. Unfortunately, I was very grateful to meet some excellent faculty at IIT and all that. They taught us how to think. That's the beauty, right? And basically, how to think. First principles is a step-by-step way to unlearn. Like, what is unlearn? We have accumulated so much that you have to get those things off, right? I mean, I love dogs, so I'll give you a slightly crass example. But when you take a dog, right, it comes with no habits or bad habits. But when you give it that behavioral change, like sit, stand, etc., it's unlearning a lot of that, right? And setting up for obedience and success, same thing. Yeah. So Pathak's asking, which is a better option after graduation for job? So I didn't understand that question. We'll take up the questions towards the end, yeah. But are you saying, is it better to continue to graduate or to study or for job? So we'll look it up. Towards the end. Let me finish the goals and all. So that is the number one thing, right? And thinking, most people don't think. And so again, this is not definitely, I've sort of stirred a few minds here, but thinking first principles, like thinking, for instance, this is completely original, my own thought, etc. Happily employed, happily unemployed. Same thing is about marriage. Same thing is about many other things. But that comes from first principles, right? Because we are monkeys. We learn from our mentors. If somebody buys an Audi car, we're going to go buy the same Audi car, or that'll be in our name. We're not going to go buy a Tesla car, right? Because that requires original thinking. Thinking originally is very difficult. Imitating is very fast. So imitate from a good mentor, right? As children, we've imitated from our parents, so on and so forth. Same thing. Good mentors inspire, coach, huge upside. So many people think it's time is a discrete is a continuous function. I don't think so. I believe time is a discrete function. There'll be that one teacher whom you meet, or that one whatever girlfriend or spouse whom you meet, or one friend whom you meet, who's going to change your life forever, amongst the 99 other guys. Conversely, so there are two kinds of events, right? Linear, non-linear. Linear events are like to get into shape, you have to do push-ups every day. You miss 3 days of push-ups, it's gone. You miss, you eat, you diet every day, great. But if you have 3 cheat days, you're gone, right? So that's linear events. You need systematic, you need focus, discipline, etc. There are non-linear events. Like I said, somebody you meet in a bus whom you have a great conversation, or some other person. So I think teaching is like that, right? You'll meet that one person who will take you somewhere, and bad ones will scar you. Bad teachers will make you disinterested. For instance, I just barely passed my chemistry, including IIT exam, right? That was because I hated chemistry. But actually, if you look at it, if I like go back, it's because, no offense again, the mathematics and all these sciences get the best teachers. Chemistry teachers in school are actually the bottom of the pit. So you have bad teachers there who are going to, demotivate you, and then your interest on the subject goes bad. So please, please, please get a good mentor, right? So chemistry, I'm scarred till date. Maybe who knows? If I had a better teacher, I would have been much better in marks, right? In maybe gotten a great better rank. So anyway, coming to this community, yeah, this is so important. I've seen this. I've experienced this as well. Good mentors are magnets for great learners. There's tremendous amounts of them. For instance, I'll go on record and say Professor Jawahar from IIIT, he's got great set of, because of the value he brings on the table, a lot of students want to get to him, and he's very, very, he filters a lot. I have a great community of learners. Then there's a bunch of other people, right? Somehow, you attract only your vibe, like birds of feather flock together. So you have a great community, and also your value system. Like all these guys want to help. For instance, East Coast versus West Coast. Now, what is that? If you've looked at Wolf of Wall Street and all these other kind of, how many of you watched Wolf of Wall Street? If you watched that, type Wolf. So it's a very famous movie. You should watch it. If you've seen that, you will know that most of the East Coast style, I've seen that in Mumbai also, want to crush the other person and only go up. What does that mean? It means I become successful. Jayanth, will become successful if Skillmonks, like Skillmonks is my partner, I'm giving an example, doesn't become successful. A lot of people are there like that. You will not know it. Some of you are fairly young, but just observe that behavior. You might even see it in in-laws and all that. That is the most bullshit thing ever. I also succumbed to that. I also paid a price on that. In my college, it was like that. IIT Madras was also like that. I mean, my experience was, I'm not talking about others. Maybe others were a lot more positive. I was negative in that mindset. The world is not like that. Success begets success, help begets help. For instance, today, if you look at it, Google plus Apple's market cap, if you sum them, is greater than the Indian GDP. It's a West Coast behavior. Google doesn't compete with Apple because of theory of abundance. There's so much more like money to be made. There's so many opportunities, right? Can you believe that? Two companies, Apple plus Google, if you look at their market cap and you add that, it's greater than India. And always West Coast, like West Coast means Silicon Valley, etc., all have great companies coming like that because they think like that. They help you. Why do I want to help you guys? A, obviously the selfish, ostentatious reason is I need a testimonial, but B, I sleep well at night. If one of you gets a great job or one introduction makes you great, that's it. No, that's phenomenal, right? So I've seen that the community and the value system helps a lot, right? I've seen this with other communities as well. I've mindly seen this, not just with Silicon Valley. I've seen this in Bangalore. A lot of people help each other. I've not seen many others, so I won't obviously lambast them, etc. But look for those people. You might have seen in your own life. Look, observe at 10 relatives, 2 will be helping others, 8 will be cribbing, 8 will be bad. Don't get into such communities. Of course, family, you can't do much. You can only drink a beer and be happy. But my request to you is get into positive, great communities. Just by the environment, you'll grow, right? Okay. And think long term. Data science is extremely long term. It's great. See, thinking long term is being greedy for long, right? I'm greedy for the long term, right? For 10 years, 20 years. I don't want a black mark. I want all of you to succeed, etc. Short term, if you take shortcuts, if you fake, if you lie, etc., that's greed for short term. It's a recipe for disaster, right? Okay, coming back to this. If you've understood these type 4 guys. Guys, come on. I need 2 4s. Jaldi. Thanks, Rahul. Okay, so set a definite goal mindset. So we're going to the second point about, so we finished why to learn the data science. Now I'm going to focus on what constitutes a good data scientist, right? Now we've we've seen, why you should learn data science, etc. Next, even before you come into the course, I want to first tweak your mindset. Yeah. So it's like an operating system. You can't have an iPhone 5 operating system and try to be in this world. You have to upgrade. Number one is your job, right? So there are three parts I've seen. Only these three parts. There's nothing else I've seen. Is job, right? 95% of you are in that boat. Second is master's, PhD, or further studies. There's no further studies, but studies. And third, I've seen a startup. I've seen consulting also very, very there. I've seen competitive programming a little more. People have seen. So we'll focus only on the job. I'm assuming all of you want a job. Anybody who doesn't want a job, but who's focused on 2 and 3, type that now. 2, 3, right? But I'll spend a little more time on job. Okay. First is set a definite goal. Yeah. Most of you have issues setting the goal. They don't have an issue following the goal. Actually, there also they have. That's motivation now, but it's more natural. Setting a goal. Examples of a bad goal. I'll tell you now. I'll go on record and say examples of a bad goal is I want a good job. Very bad goal. I want to move up my company ladder. Very bad goal. Why am I saying that's bad? It is bad because of the specificity. Be specific on your goal. Don't be excessively specific. Say something like a good goal would be, I want a job in a FANG company. FANG is, I want a data science job in a FANG company, right? Notice FANG, Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google and all that. You can have your own goal. It's okay to have any kind of goal. Be slightly more ambitious than your default, but have a specific goal. And the more you think about the goal and write it down, again, this is very cliched, but write your goal down and keep that and stick, at least make 5 photocopies of that and stick it everywhere. See, these are subconscious things that actually not even I've recently realized in the last 2 years. The more you think, the more something happens on a subconscious level and actually gets reframed, right? I'll tell you why that is a bad goal. The first one. Getting a job is great, right? But it's not long term. I have seen and I have experienced people who get good who get good jobs, who get the salary. Let's say a fresher wants a job. He's going to get his job, and let's say he wanted a 6 lakh job, and he got it. That was in his mind, and he got it in 90 days or 6 months. What happened after 3 months, 6 months? He's not talked about the boss. He doesn't know about the function role. He can be going there and just doing SQL programming, which is data ingestion, which is not even data science. So don't do all those things. He'll be disgruntled. Month 1, month 2, month 3 will be great. They'll get a new laptop. He will go to office post-corona, whatever. And then after that, he'll see all his peer group is also as unhappy as him. His drinking will increase and all those things will happen. You know where this is going. Don't do that. You will only get what you want. If you've only aimed at 6 lakh job, you'll only get 6 lakh. You will never even think about a bad boss, good boss. You'll never even think about JD. If you think now about what kind of outcome you want clearly, then the mind will also subconsciously read all of that. The JDs you'll be seeing in Naukri, the JDs you'll be seeing in LinkedIn will be far better. How? Because you'll screen far better, right? So think about that. These are all very, very subtle things, but extremely important. I have seen the good fortune of being with 10,000 people is I've seen people miserable after getting money. And that's the worst trap. Okay. Please don't do that. If you're a fresher, it's a great place to be. Set a goal. Just work 2 hours a day. That's also fine. Don't work 8 hours a day for taking the ship somewhere, right? Just because you're like going in circles, a dog does that, goes in circles, it'll die. Don't do that. Just go after a specific goal. And it's okay. Just say, okay, I want an 8 lakh job, let's say, and I want it to be in these companies. That's also there. There's a lady who did that. She said, I don't want to work for ITC. I don't want to work for a cigarette company. I won't work for a, what is that beverage company? AB and Bev. The AB and Bev is the beer company. She said, alcohol and cigarette, I don't want. I want it in any one of these 10 companies. And she got that. And I want a good work-life balance because I'm just married and I have a kid. My husband works somewhere else. and I just want to do this. Data science and this thing, work life is very important. She got it. She's very happy since 2-3 years. And I can sense it because I speak to her once in like 3-4 months consistently. So have like that kind of goal, okay? Okay, build an original portfolio. We'll see that post course. This is not very relevant for you. We also, so we give a lot of placement assistance and all that, and our lectures are pre-recorded and all that. But I've found that instead of us helping you spoon feed and schedule interviews, it's better to reciprocal to converse the process. What does that mean? We help you set your portfolio, your LinkedIn cold emails. Many people don't do that. See, if I teach you to get a job now, it's a skill you'll have for the next 20-30 years. And it's actually very easy, right? It's very, very easy. Many people, so there is plenty of jobs out there, good jobs out there, but actually talented people are less. It's with the right attitude, right? With the right attitude is very important. Most people are not optimizing for the right attitude. What is right attitude? Right attitude is not, oh, let me keep on incrementing 30% every 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. That's bad. That creates attrition, right? Oh, I want a job. I got it in pharma. Turns out I hate pharma. That's bad. All of these you could have screened it much before, right? Don't do that. Create a plan, at least write it down and stick to it. Then you know where you failed, right? So that's one thing we have done extremely well. We help those. Second, selling. Why cold emails, hustle, and selling? Number one thing I've seen again with all of us, with not including me, not just students and experienced people, is we don't sell. For some reason, we have a very, very bad opinion on selling. This could be because we still get 2 calls a day with some HDFC loan or some guy saying, please, please, irritating. That's bad, right? That is not what selling is. Selling is about selling our aspirations, our dreams, how we speak to our spouse, how we speak to our parents, how we speak to our, bosses, etc. You must sell yourself. Just because there are 2 road accidents doesn't mean 98 of us are not going on the road, right? Just because 2 calls you get in a day doesn't mean you hate selling. You have to sell yourself. I know a lot of you don't speak good English. I know that you might not have a best, you hate putting yourself out there, but that is fine. That is what is required. It is a must. The more you ask, the better you communicate your ask. Communication doesn't the best English, etc. Don't forget about that. It's about how clear you are with yourself and how you put yourself out there. The best opportunities will come, right? I've seen this time and again, and that's why I told you, set a definite goal, go out after it, okay? Most coders don't do this, and it's a recurring mistake, but you have to do it. The people who have overcome this only have actually succeeded. How many people have died of public speaking, of selling? Nobody. How many people have died of corona and road accidents? Many. So it's not a fear. It comes from a lizard brain. You can go deeper into that. But put yourself out there. Email employers. People are looking for great, talented people. Trust me on that. Okay, I get so many calls for that. So many messages of my WhatsApps are just that. From US, from wherever, Canada, etc. Sourcing, prospecting the right kind of job. I want to emphasize this again and again. Have the right function role. It's great to be in a place where you're very clear. Like I said, it's miserable to get the same 1 lakh or whatever, 10 lakhs of salary every month, but in a miserable boss, miserable function role. Okay. And you'll see plenty. There's an army of people out there who are there. Don't do that. The time to set that is right now. And the reason why I'm pre-framing and getting your mindset right is the mindset should be right before you come in, right? So same cricketer, you've seen cricket, right? I follow a lot of cricket. If he's pre-framed correctly, he's in the right mindset, can go on and hit centuries. Same person can go duck out for years together. We've seen that even with Kohli, right? So you have to pre-frame. Cricket is not the important thing. Tomorrow it could be cricket, tomorrow it could be football, whatever. But your mindset is the most important. So get a manager who's competent enough. I can't stress enough about it. I felt that as well. I had an Asian boss who was from Cornell, so she had all the right qualities, but I don't know, she and me never got along. And I believe a manager who's competent, whom you respect and whom you like. Meaning you should be able to have a peer. The yardstick means you should be able to talk about some personal problems. You shouldn't be best friends also. That's also something, but at least talk about some personal connection, right? Because then you'll be invested in each other's success. and commensurate pay. Again, biggest mistake people make is I keep getting calls also. Mama J, I'm getting like 50 lakhs of salary here, but somebody else is giving me 55 lakhs, but it's a startup or something. So my recommendation is don't optimize for highest money. Almost always don't do that. Never optimize for highest money. Optimize for these rest of the other things. Right function role, manager, work-life balance. If work-life is very important, somehow I'll go on record and say women have been far more clearer about that. Men suck at it. Even if you're getting 10-20% lesser, but you feel that the organization is stable, if you're looking for stability, go for that, right? So commensurate pay is most important. Don't optimize for maximum pay, commensurate pay. Commensurate means the right pay. So won't spend too much time on 2 and 3. And all right, so here's a little bit of syllabus that we cover. I don't want to focus too much on syllabus because my idea was to, if you are here in terms of your mindset for data science, hopefully you've been getting to hear, knowing fully well what to do, what not to do, right? The idea is like, they're going on a trek and I want to tell you what's happening, what's going to come, etc. and what makes a successful trek, right? So these are ML concepts mostly. All of them we're going to cover in detail. Pre-processing, Python mastery. It is going to be a coding intensive role. You have to practice a lot and get into a mindset of spending long hours, right? What that means is you have to like tell yourself, more importantly your friends, family, or if you're living with a roommate, whatever, that you'll be spending a lot of time learning the concepts, etc. We're also going to be hashing out all of the statistics probability piece, which means it is math heavy. Now, many of you might say, I'm not good at math, I'm not good at math, I'm not good at math. Just get rid of that. Kill that thought. You're coming with us. You're going to get very strong at math. You're going to become better than 90% of them just by spending hours, just by sincerity, passion. I've had fashion NIFT, like people from NIFT. There was this one lady from Kerala. She said, I want to just learn because I love data science and I'm optimizing for money. She was honest. And she did really well. She had no math background, nothing, just by sticking at it. And mastery of core ML concepts. We're going to be covering all of that. And again, a lot of people don't focus on model deployment. We're going to be focusing on all that as well, because that's what's, I've seen a pattern change. So our course is also evolving. You're going to get the best syllabus, etc. But none of that means anything if your mindset is not clear, guys. Mindset should be very, very, very solid. Get into it like you're trying to hit a century. Don't be like getting into a game. I'm going to get duck out or this or that. Nothing. You might have different backgrounds. I don't care if you've. There's actually a person from 12th class, by the way, who came in to the course much before I've taught. It doesn't matter what your background is. Doesn't matter where you are. Get rid of all those resistances and just jump in. Okay. So next steps. With that, I do come to the end of the 1 hour session. What I'll do is. Next steps, I think I'll let Jitendra say. You feel free to join my VIP group. It's bit.ly/pt_VIP. There's some free courses and stuff. Feel free to take a snapshot of this as well. Now, what I'll do is I will open the floor for 5 to 6 questions. Feel free to unmute if you want to speak, or feel free to chat. I'll be there for 5-6 questions, or how much ever time Jitendra permits us, or Saket. And we'll after that have some sort of concluding notes. So I'm going to stop my share, guys. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, my bad. Sorry. So Pathak, I have unmuted you. You can ask a question. I think I didn't understand which is better option after graduation. So that piece, if you can spend some time. And see, guys, don't be shy. Any question you ask might help others also. Many of us are a little shy and reticent. So anything that you ask might help others as well. Some of you might be more shyer than the others. Pathak, you want to ask? Any language is fine. I speak Telugu, Hindi, and English as well. So don't ask me in Tamil. Pathak, we can't hear you. Are you speaking something? Okay, if Pathak's, probably he's not there. Rahul, you want to ask a question? Rahul, let me unmute you. I think I've unmuted you. Or Rahul, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, good afternoon, sir.
Hi, Usha.
Hi. Hi, sir.
Hey, hi.
Yes, sir. Actually, I have completed my PhD in mathematics, sir, applied mathematics.
Wow, respect. Hi, Dr. Usha.
Yes, thank you very much. Basically, I did in degree BSc Computer Science.
Okay.
But, I know languages only C, C++ only.
Okay.
Actually, now I'm interested in computer science. That's why I want to join data scientist. So, what is your suggestion, sir?
Okay, very good question. First off, I'm so thankful that you're on this webinar. I have enormous respect for people of PhD because when I was doing my 2 masters, I definitely I was trying to do my PhD, but it was not my cup of tea. So let me try to understand your question better. You have a PhD background in mathematics, and you said you had a BSc in computer science.
BSc, computer science, mathematics, physics, computer science.
Yeah, and now you feel like you want to do something in computer science.
Yes.
Okay, but you want to get into data science.
Data scientist.
Okay. So one more thing is, as I want to respond to you better, I want to also get a little more data. Ma'am, do you have work experience?
Yes, I have. I worked as an assistant professor 8 years.
Okay, very good. And may I ask which subject was that?
Applied mathematics.
Applied mathematics. Okay. And now, what is your goal? So let me try to set your vision first. Are you looking to work for like a big company in computer science, or are you looking to work in a data science field, or you're just doing this just to fuel your interest, passion? What is your next 2-year goal or 3-year goal, 1,000-day goal? Do you have some vision or anything? You can tell whatever comes to your mind first.
I want to reach in higher position. That's why I want to do in data science.
Very good. So higher position in your university or just for your personal satisfaction?
University or in any field, good company.
Okay, good. Okay. So thanks for that. So guys, this is actually a very good crossroads for her. So see, first off, let's disambiguate both of them. Data science and computer science are not the same, right? So you have to view them differently, and they are not going to intersect. There are similarities, but the intersection set is actually very, very less, right? Now, what does that mean? Computer science is a lot more about the 3 pieces, which ones? Front-end development, back-end development, and full-stack web development, right? These are the opportunities that come pretty much in pretty much in all the IT companies or whatever it is, right? Now they are great. They also have Python. So Python is the same language that will be the common denominator for that and this. And that's the first similarity. Second similarity is that nowadays, very recent trend. This is like last 3 to 6 months. Data science, guys, it's already in the US and Canada. This is already happening. Some of the quick sort, like the data structures and algorithms, is also starting to be used in data science jobs. It's already there in the US because they expect a full stack data scientist to have that. Now that's the second commonality. That's the only chapter, which is like quick sort, binary sort, all that sorts, heap sorts. But that is where the commonality ends, then the dissimilarities start. Data science requires a lot of mathematics, model building, data munging, etc., all of which is not there in computer science, right? You have to be very clear if you want to do computer science or data science. My belief is that I think you're leaning on the side of data science because applied math is a lot more done in data science, not in computer science. So does that make sense in the first point? Ushagaru, you're on mute.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So does that make sense? The first point that I wanted to tell. Yeah. Okay. Second, in terms of going higher, so that's what comes back to the topic that I shared, which is here. Have a very clear goal here. Have a very set, definite goal. Get an expert to set that goal with you jointly. Now, what does that mean? I have seen people. So, for instance, I've seen people who are in industry who want to do higher studies. They do like a part-time master's program or a part-time PhD program. That might not be the case for you, but you have to spend a little more time, maybe 2-3 days, etc. And why you're doing what you're doing. See, the strategy for you, if you want to say, you know what, let's get the highest paying job for a PhD in Novartis. So Novartis, I have fairly good influence there, reasonable. Now they do absorb people, and the salaries are humongous and they're great. They want awesomely like very good people in math, actuarials, etc. And this is in Hyderabad. I don't know where you are. I think remote is also available for them. If you say that, and let's design a strategy, a personalized curriculum, not curriculum, but personalized plan. Curriculum will be the same, the plan for that. Let's have a 1-year plan for that. Then the strategy is completely different, right? The strategy for a postdoc, let's do research. Jay, let's do research. Let's actually work on the next cutting edge problems. I want to develop more algorithms because I want a postdoc. I want 2 papers maybe, or I want 1 patent. Then the strategy for that is completely different. Like, what is it that will help you sleep better? First, you have to set your vision. Vision setting is an energy consuming process. Vision setting is not, oh, when we're scrolling down the TV or when we're going outside with friends and we get something. Don't do that. My request to you is give a fair trial to this method, which is like set a definite goal, write it on a paper. What will make you truly happy? And even if you don't reach that, it's fine. Like it's okay. But if you have that, then the path will be charted because there will be no otherwise, right? The strategies for becoming an assistant to an associate professor, going higher up academia is completely different from the strategy taking a best paying job in like a large MNC company or even a fast growing startup, which where the money and the lucrativeness is very, very high. And if you're actually optimizing for money with your background, I think you should, because I know like Blackbuck, that company that just went unicorn, I know the founder, that guy, they are looking for PhDs and they'll pay northwards of 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs just for that. I don't know. They're so, I mean, like me, they respect PhDs a lot. So you should come back with a little more, slightly more homework in sort of defining that.
Okay.
Next question. No problem. Yeah. And it takes time, and effort. It's much better to have a strategy and a goal than not have a goal. See, my own goals also changed. I mean, goal setting is something nobody teaches us. I only did IIT, honestly, thanks to my brother and my parents. My father went to an IIT and it was like middle class peer pressure. I don't know why I was doing that. Second, I went to do my MS also because of them. Like, I honestly have no clue because every Telugu guy just went and did that. But you do something for yourself, right? Like, now I know what I want to do. I said, I want to train 1 million data scientists. That's my aim, as fast as possible and in a good way. So I'm building everything towards that. So the goal is very, very important, right?
Yes.
And yeah, it's difficult. You have to set it with some expert.
What is the time period to become data scientist?
See, so this course, I mean, I know about, I can talk about my course or our course. We are typically looking at, see, if you're full-time, like full-time means if you're 40 hours and if you have time, 40 hours means like proper 40 hours. Every day you're doing between 4 to 8 hours. It's about 3 months-ish, I would say. 3 to 4 months, you can actually become really solid in terms of completing, and all the way up to AI. AI means deep learning. Like I said, there are 3 pieces right here.
Okay.
Data science, Python with data science, there's machine learning and deep learning. So a full stack data scientist with deployment, making models, that's full time. You have to roughly double that if you're spending 20 hours. 20 hours means part-time, right? You're coming in the evenings and doing work, etc., listening to the recordings and then doing it again, because these are complex concepts. Now, I also don't know where you are, like as in you have to I mean, I don't know your fluency just yet. I'm assuming
Yes.
it's more than average. Yeah, yeah. So it really depends on your passion. See, I know people who have done it, like people are bizarre. So average is what I've told you. 3 to 6 months is the range. I know people have done it in 2.5, 3 months also because they're very desperate. They were like, Jay, I'm very, very serious. Like I know this girl, Samiksha. She was in Delhi. She was in Triple IT Delhi, Triple IT Delhi. She was very desperate to get into a FANG company. She was very clear. I mean, we helped her set a goal and all that. She was very clear. I want to be in a FANG company, period. She said FANG software job. So Google pays for software engineers, I think 40 lakhs or something. She said, I want a data science. I don't want software job. That's also same, 30 lakhs, little less, 35 or 40 lakhs only. I think only Bangalore has that office because the data science team is only in Bangalore. Software teams are there everywhere in Hyderabad and all. So she was clear. She finished off in 2.5, 3 months. She was very serious. Like even I was very like astounded at her ferocious. So it's about your mindset, how ferocious you are. But her advantage is she was already a coder. She had 2, 3 years of BTech also. She was topper. She was a coding expert. See, don't compare with others, but I'm just telling. And I had people who do it for 9 months also. So that's why the community is very important. Community will be there 9 months, 12 months is also there. I've had what is the word? Recovering mothers, like moms who've not been in the field for 3, 4 years. They came back, they spent 1 year, but her aim was different. So it really depends on how you want to do it. Like in all the lectures, everything, the community is there forever, right? So that's the mindset you have to tune. That's why I said mindset setting is very important. If you say, I want to do it in a year and you didn't do it, then you are actually not a success in your own eyes. If you say I want to do it in 6 months and you've achieved it, then you're a success in your eyes. So it depends on that, right? Yeah. Okay. Next.
Thank you.
Yeah. Rahul. Sir, by the open source projects, can we claim industrial experience? Okay. About open source, very good question. When you say open source, I want to know a little better about what is your idea about open source. See, open source of two kinds. Okay. Open source data, open source publicly available data sets and publicly available projects. I hate them. I hate them personally. Everybody's doing them here. This is like biryani. This is like dal, roti, chawal. Everybody's doing that. There's enough information out there. And that is how our mind also thinks, right? In the way that, oh, there's everything available. Let me do that. That's the worst strategy you can have. That is why I wrote this point here also. In that, where is that? Build an original portfolio. Can you see this? Let me just make this in green. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this in green. I'll just make it bold for now. Okay, let's make it green. So build an original portfolio. It's very important to build an original portfolio. Please, please, please refrain away from doing cookie cutters. If 10 restaurants are making biryani, don't be the 11th guy who makes biryani. Not because for the sake of originality, because see, you have to understand how an employer, yeah, I'll tell you why. No, this is a pitfall even I made. Employers like a little bit of, refreshing on creativity, right? For instance, if 9 of you write in the resume, okay, Python, this, that, I've done the same code, same data set, everything, he's not going to, he'll only look at 30 seconds, less than 30 seconds, 3 seconds, right? For every resume. But if you do something lightly novel, like, okay, here's the corona data set. For instance, I can do something really live as well. Let me show you that. So let's go to vaccination. This is a problem that deeply interests me. I have a team member also working on that. Coronavirus vaccination. Are you guys interested in this? If you say that, type CV. CV means coronavirus vaccination. I think it's useful for all of you. Jaldi type CV, guys, because I have to go somewhere else. Okay, corona vaccine vaccination APIs. So that's there in this. So that's there. This information is public, right? Now, however, where's that? India. It's there on the site. I forget where that site is. So we can see it later. Now, media statistics. Yeah, these are the statistics. There's an API behind that. So typically you can give like everybody is doing the same regular projects, etc. Nobody is doing something novel. Novelty means like, okay, just vaccination by location about your state for Andhra Pradesh or Telangana or for Maharashtra, or how many people did not get even the first dosage. Those are the kind of interesting data science projects anybody would like. And how much time did I take to do this? Not much. See, like I said, this is where you should not be a monkey, right? If everybody's eating sambar, don't eat sambar. See, no offense to anybody. Make something new, try, at least fail. Employer will respect originality, original hustle, right? Please don't do that. So that is the first point about open source or public project. Now, second kind of open source projects are the projects wherein you will be working on something novel. So for instance, like GSOC, this is where actually things change. Google Summer of Code. For instance, if you are saying, boss, I want to work and contribute towards open source development like projects, then that's a different game changer. I actually had my own students, only 3 or 4 of them have done it. They were all from IIIT. So they pay you a lot. These guys pay you 3 lakhs per month and all that. It's fantastic. We help you post a course also. But these are very tough. So what does an open source project mean? So if you write a library tomorrow, the whole world will use that. So I don't know where your question, which I hope I answer your question. Right? Don't do projects that everybody is doing. Do some different project. So all of our coursework, our data sets, our projects, everything is just very, very novel. I don't like to do regular stuff, and I practice what I preach also. Yeah. Next, because I do have to go after this. Yes. This is my general doubt, Sai Yashwant. Very good question. Why cybersecurity and networking is underrated while comparing to ML and AI? No, underrated by what? Underrated by what? Nothing like that. See, now how to look at information. So for instance, so I'll show you how I am. So let's talk about something new. Okay, my whole inbox. Okay, how do I check trends? So you have to understand how trends are set. See, like just like the food we eat, right? If you're eating, so I eat rice, I eat chapati, I eat jowar rotis, etc. The food we eat, mostly home cooked food with my mom and all, the food we eat dictates our body, right? Like the shape, etc. If you eat junk food, you become like junk, right? Same thing is about information. If you're looking, I'm not, no offense to anybody, but if you're only scrolling Instagram, which 90% of the world is doing, if you're only looking at Times of India and some shit paper like that, your mind is shit. It's junk food, junk diet, right? So look for high quality diet. So now how information. So how do I do that? I'll show you one way. Wait. Okay. You guys want to see my, this is actually literally my inbox. You guys want to see it? Type BIO. Bring it on. Yeah. See, so this is my inbox. So like I said, so I know trends are going to happen future. So I have identified 4 to 5 sectors that I want to upskill and the best people in that sector, and I follow them and I pay them because I understood if I don't pay them, I won't be serious. So Preeti Kasireddy is a lady. She's in Silicon Valley. She in her course, she got like Balaji Srinivasan and all. All these guys are like top-notch guys in that area. Each of them is worth 100 million. This lady herself is a big partner. She's made probably 60, 70 million. I am in that course. I'm studying. I'm struggling. And I know the course. So this is about DeFi. DeFi, for those of you who don't know, is like a crypto thing. So I'm studying all that because I want to be abreast. Right? I want to learn from the experts and I know the trends. See, everybody's siloed in their own world. If I'm only eating biryani, I'll think biryani is the best. I won't even know noodles exist. But do you know that more than 2 billion people in the world eat noodles? If I'm speaking only English and if I'm listening only to English songs, I'll think English is the biggest. No, English is not. Spanish songs are there. It's our mindset. Cybersecurity is huge. In that world, it will be huge. And one more thing is you have to understand these algorithms, this Google, Facebook, and all are only showing you what you want to see. For instance, how many of us watched Bengali movies? But do you know that Bengali movies are ruling the national awards and all, right? If you watch, for instance, only Telugu movies, and I watch a lot of it, only think Telugu is the best. No, there are Kannada movies, there are so many other movies. So the underrating is a very relative thing, right? Who is rating it? Depends on whom you see, right? So crypto, I know that is big. It was very this thing, and I know what was the limiting factor. Me, I wanted everything free. It won't happen. I paid them, and these are expensive courses just because I'll get my game together and I'll be there. Yeah. Okay, cool. So cybersecurity communities are big. You should go sign up that. I have a friend called Umesh. He runs like a $10 million startup. He's doing very profitable. So nothing like that. Okay. I hope that I answered that question, Sai. Maybe AI is big for you because you hit on 2-3 ads and only that is being shown. See, everybody's in their own cocoon. Yeah. To get out of that cocoon, you have to spend energy or money or time. Okay, next. Last question we're done. Okay, all right. So just some conclusion remarks. So for the next steps, right, in terms of Rahul, just hop on board, man. Join the course. No, seriously, I'm dead serious. Okay, so in terms of if you want to yeah, sorry, about the course details, etc. Right. So any other sort of other further questions in terms of enrollment, etc. We have partnered with Skill Monks. Again, thank you for that opportunity. This is actually set up by Skill Monks. Saket and the rest of the team members, Jitendra. Please ask them the questions, etc. I would request you, and you know, I think we have only 7 more days left. So, and then the enrollments are drying up. So please don't think, just jump in, etc. And route your questions to them, right? And Jitendra and Saket, any other points you guys want to share? Because I have to actually go to the other next call also. Sorry about that. I think we've definitely crossed a lot of time. You have any conclusion remarks to say, or we can end the meeting? Jitendra, we can't.
I hope I'm audible. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're audible and visible. Yeah.
So really wonderful so far. So thank you, Jayanth, for your time. And I feel like maybe we are done with the questions, and whatever questions you guys are having, the participants, you can just route through us. And if we need any assistance from Jayanth will surely help us out. And for the course details and everything, I'll be there for you, and I'll be sharing the further details with you. And if you have any particular question, maybe any one last question we can take. Otherwise, you know, we have already extended the session a bit. So otherwise, we are done. So yeah. Thanks a ton, Jayanth, for being there. Any questions, guys? If you have anything, maybe please ask.
Yeah. Please ask, and I'm here to serve you guys. So irrespective of, you know, however we go, just jump on board. Don't think too much, and you know, fire away your questions immediately to Jitendra and Saket and the team. Thank you so much, guys, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. Thanks. I'm going to end my meeting now. Bye, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Jayanth, and have a wonderful day ahead, and have a wonderful day ahead for all of you guys as well. Let's join over a call if you have any questions. So I'll be calling you guys, and we can connect over a call. Yeah, thank you everyone.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, bye.